Hello, everyone. I apologize for, how would you say, not posting earlier. Realistically, I thought I already posted this, but apparently I didn't. So, here it is. It was supposed to come out last week, but I got caught off guard. Not just that, school and all this other jazz. But yeah. I believe after this one I'm gonna have to force make, I think, hold up. After this one I have to be, okay, so, Fallen, 1, 2, Silo, 1, deku, so the next one after this would have to be Fall 3. And Fall 3 will probably take a turn, honestly. Because I feel like if I do stay in the underground too much, I feel like I'll either have to add characters to the story, or very quickly, either that or make some sort of war with Ghost Rider, basically. I have to, spice some things up. I may or may not, make him his own AU, personally. Kind of just Deku there. I'll say... I got this. I'll say... The original children, there was 2 children back in the day. One child was Azrael, and the other child was, I don't know, come up with some sort of other name for, a sibling for Azrael. And no, it's not Chara. This is actually going to be by blood by, Asgore and, I believe, Toriel. Yeah. Out of a sudden, trying to break the barrier, one of the children kind of dead or die in action. Well, Azrael, is kind of transformed into Flowey. Wait, what? No, it wouldn't happen like that. Not necessarily. That would be having the timeline too fast. Anyways, Azrael's... what should I do? I'll say Azrael's, I'll say... I can't really think of anything. But I'll just say that, this caused the death of, Azrael's sibling. And luck for him, it didn't really kill him. But it did do something else to him. And it kind of allowed him to kind of make what was the word? It's weird. I'm gonna tell you when it comes up. I haven't fully thought of it yet, but yeah, something happened to Azrael. Azrael's power, I'll say Azrael's power as a child was more lines sealed away in a way. Trying to break the barrier, his power was forced sealed inside of him, so he can't really use his magic since it's kind of sealed. Think of a soul, but with chains around it, basically. When he does try to use his magic, it does damage his health bar. Almost like an anime I've watched, I can't remember which one. But yeah. After that would happen, a while later, there would be, someone falling. I'll say this is mid-war too. I'll say, hold up. What time did Chara die? I think it was after the war, if I'm correct, with the humans. Yeah, I think so. I think Chara died a bit after, yeah. So I'll say, give or take, 3-ish years. About, maybe a bit longer. 3-ish years have, upon Azrael. Azrael kind of depressed since, he can't just use his own magic, but, he kind of, got no sibling, so he's kind of lonely, and he thinks it's all his fault. That until, I'll say, I'm gonna say 3 years later. Now, I'll say Azrael will not just be dealing with that, but also be dealing why would the humans do this? They had a good friendship. But, humans trying to experiment, if you're wondering how this version of the war started, humans try to experiment on monsters to, how government does so, trying to create something that shouldn't be made. Inevitably making, what was it called? Manifestation of, no, not manifestation. I'll say it was, what was it? Those, the monsters you fight in the labs, I can't remember what they're called. Amalgamations, yeah. I'll say the amalgamations were the original project of the humans behind the monster's back. I'll say, before anything, they had a treaty and whatnot. But, the humans wanted to mess with, souls and whatnot. They're trying to figure out what's, the souls, since monsters have more knowledge than them when it comes to souls. So, inevitably, they create the amalgamations. Monsters find out about these amalgamations. They lock the amalgamations up, and basically, due to this act of war, humans and monsters will basically be sealed away. Humans, while sealing the monsters away, would lose all knowledge of any type of soul magic in basically ever. Any sort of information they have is lost to them. It's all, with monsters. I'll say there are very few places. That's very few. Very, very few. I'll say All for One and One for All. I'll say they're originally made with magic. And then, that magic kind of turned into a quirk and whatnot. You get the gist. Anyways, yeah, after, a while ago, I'll say maybe a couple months, or so 10 months, after a person falls down, or not falls down, I'll say this, instead of falling down from the hole, they fall down from the barrier they had, since, the barrier's not usually, where people usually, fall down from. So, out of nowhere, Azrael's kind of just looking, I'll say he has, a grave for his, sibling in front of the, barrier, as someone falls down. While falling down, the barrier would activate, having the human unable to enter, but something happens to the barrier though. The human slowly, and I mean very slowly, falls down inside the barrier, almost like a quicksand type-ish. While sinking inside the barrier, Azrael will notice the human portion that is outside of, that's inside the underground, if that makes sense. The things that's basically beyond the barrier, or past the barrier, it would notice that the skin would start to, be gone. The skin will start, to disappear, and the human will slowly, while going, through the barrier, the human would slowly start turning into a monster. Basically. And Ghost Rider AU. Inevitably after that, man's confused, wakes up, where am I? He has no recollection of who he is, what he is, where he is, what happened, nor anything. So this man's basically rebirth, not isekai, but basically born with no knowledge whatsoever. He knows the basic fundamentals of physics, mathematics, geometry, history and all that, he knows things, but he doesn't know of certain things in those things. He knows of the logic, but not where he got the logic from, basically. You feel me? It kind of just goes to him. After that, basically, my man Torio's like, hey, yo, what's this, a new discovery? As he basically, pops up, hey, yo, Pops, my man, yeah, there's a human at the barrier that kind of just flew, I don't know what happened to him, as soon as, Torio says human, Asgore's like, oh, I must kill this human and, capture their soul, oh. Inevitably, Asgore, Torio, I'll say this was before Torio's banishment. So yeah, I'll say Deku, or not Deku, but Ghost Rider, basically. While this happens, I'll say he was a normal skeleton. Just like Sans and everything, had like zilch anything. I'll say he had like a normal soul for a monster, just white. That is until, my man Asgore's like, a monster, a human turning into a monster. Never heard of before. I'll send him to Gaster's away. As we all know with the psycho freak Gaster is experimenting on everyone. So yeah, basically getting himself stuck in the void of the wall of coding, basically. My man, if you couldn't tell, he's basically, Gaster experiments on Deku. My man wakes up, or I'll say not wakes up, but basically, he kind of salty. He's like, hey, yo, this is some BS. I don't know who I am, and y'all doing this shit? Oh, heck no. Nah, y'all gonna catch these aliens, basically. And at the same time, this will be the same time, Gaster will be trying out to use the void, or to use, the machine to activate the barriers without the souls. While using, Gaster thinks that Deku is a source, that he can use it. Since he can pass through the barrier, he thinks that if he somehow experiments and connects the machine to Deku, it would bring Deku, or more like allow monsters to pass the barrier, but as humans in disguise, basically. And still be able to use their magic. As we all know, it goes terribly wrong. The machine gets, midway destroyed. Gaster gets sent to the void. Shadow. Midoriya gains a new ability, Vengeance, anyways. Not just Vengeance, but allows him to be connected to many AUs, or more like what Sans has. He's able to remember everything, basically. Or, everything in every reset and whatnot. Even if it's not his AU, he can still remember these memories. So, basically connected to, humans. So, such as Frisk, Chara, maybe Player. Technically Player's 3-dimensional, 4th-dimensional being, but it's would that count? I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that would count. Yeah, Player doesn't count. I'll say anything that's in the coding of the game that's human, he's connected to. So basically, all Frisks, Charas, and humans in general. So yeah. And my boy, kind of like, I'm confused. What is real? What is fake? I'm confused as heck. What is this? As a while ago, while being experimented on, again, but by different scientists, the father of what was her name? Hold up. I forgot her name, the scientist, the other one. Hold up. Scientist, I think. What was her name? Alphys, I think. If I'm correct. Yeah, Alphys. Or, the father of Alphys experiments on again, trying to figure out what changed inside, Deku's coding, or not coding, but, soul, since, there was a dramatic power increase. Not just that, but Midoriya's soul also changed. They're trying to figure out what it was. And I'll say after the experimentation, Midoriya basically became like Cross Sans, with a shift soul. So he's kind of, his, the monster soul and then basically human monster soul, basically. It's basically white and then orange, or some sort of, what was the color of vengeance, I think, hold up. I think the color of vengeance was, it was, I believe it was orange, if I'm incorrect. Where's all my souls at? Hold up. Did someone delete my souls off my phone real quick? There you are. No, orange was bravery. Hate is hysteria. I think it was this one, nihilism. Purity. Hold on. Justice and punishment. No, I think it was like justice and something else. I think this one. No, tenacity, sadism, submission. Where was it? Hold up. No, it's this one. Motivation, restraint, honor. Okay, there we go. No, sorry, not orange. I'm a dummy. I meant yellow. Sorry about that. Because yellow is justice, and and then black soul, or whatever it is, fusion soul, equals punishment. So basically that. Or the color palette, not really a fusion soul, but the color palette. So Midoriya's so before the experimentation, Midoriya's soul was white, and then after that, the second experimentation. The first experimentation, before the experimentation, white, and then when Gasser experimented on him, it turned into yellow, which is justice, and then after experimentation from the second scientist, it would become justice, or not justice, vengeance, and after that, Midoriya's body would basically be fighting, human or monster, so I'll say technically, hold up. What would I feel like? Okay, so I think he was honor, if I'm correct. I think he was honor. Where's honor? I can't find it. Where was it? I think honor was honor, purity now, honor, hold up. Where the flip is honor at? Honor, guidance now, honor. Here it is. Honor, I believe, was the purple soul. So, basically, Midoriya's original soul would be honor, because he is determined, and he's very pure, and he's very, positive, which is equals to integrity. He holds himself accountable for a lot of things he does. So it would, make honor. Basically, Midoriya's original soul would be honor, and, doing all that other jazz. It will basically be like a Crush Chara soul, and, half of it would be honor, the other half would be vengeance, basically. So, Midoriya would be very powerful, and then, when he's, on his limits, he would basically, grab the vengeance part of his soul, and basically just, we all know what's gonna happen. Zarathos basically comes out and is like, okay, run your hands, Roy. I'm not stronger, let's go, basically. So, yeah. After that would happen, my mans would basically, after figuring out you don't want to mess with someone who basically has a recollection of every reset and human reset and any intellect that has to do with humans in the undergrounds, but at the same time, a person who can basically one-shot you if you basically destroy his honor part of his soul. Not to mention, he's technically also a monster at this point. You know, it's kind of upside down, or at least the honor part is upside down. The still human part of him is the vengeance part. So yeah. So basically, equaling, you know, monsters have more power, but humans have more. Wait, no, I think no. Humans have more power, but monsters have more. What was it? I think it was. What was it? Hold up. Potential. Yeah, monsters have more potential, and humans are more stronger. But yeah. Yeah. After the potential is gone from my guy, he basically uses all that up to basically form vengeance. After that, this man's just gonna get a dramatic human boost and just basically wreak havoc. So yeah. After that, they will figure out not to mess with this man due to Alfie's father dying. And the king's kind of forced to kind of not chain up my guy, so inevitably bringing him into the family, or at least having Toriel, or not that, but Toriel's kind of feels sad for him. And Toriel one day kind of like goes to the dungeons like, hey, hello my child, I apologize for all this. But my husband, or technically the king is power hungry and whatnot. And yeah, that's what happened. Slowly but surely. Hold on, why is my thing closing? There we go. Slowly but surely, Toriel would kind of have her, or Toriel would kind of have him slowly be part of the family. Very slowly. And after that, Asriel will kind of see, the king doesn't like this, but he can't really do anything, because, man can literally clap him at any point, of course, with the right motivation. So, my man kind of just accepts it, and, Asriel kind of, starts to notice him as, like, a, bigger brother figure, with all his knowledge and whatnot. And then after that happens, he's kind of just seen as a monster at a point. But, Asriel gets an idea. He's like, hey, you got a lot of power, so, why don't we, use that power to try and, revive my dead sibling, basically. So that happens, after that, my man's skull basically burns at that point, or he basically looks like Ghost Rider at that point with the flames now. He now has the flames. And, Asriel kind of disappears. King wants to banish my boy, but in return, Toriel, takes his punishment, even though my man literally said, like, my guy, I'm in as much pain as you are. I just lost a basically small brother figure. Not just that, but it was his idea. How are you gonna blame me for one of your own children's ideas? That's crazy. Basically banishing Toriel, taking the punishment. My man kinda salty, like he don't talk to no one at this point. Like that's when he gets that Ghost Rider, silent treatment aura. Like he only talks to people when he just like no basically. After that, yeah, you could say, inevitably he meets Sans and, did I make this different also it's a female Sans? Because surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of female Sans lately, surprisingly. And I feel like there's a lot of male Sans like that. Canon, there's about 100 different versions of male Sans. And how many female Sans have I seen? About only one, basically. But now that's gonna be 2 because I'm about to make a female thing. So yeah, female Sans and Papyrus enter the picture. They kind of like his, big sister and little sister kind of phase. Or more lines, Papyrus acts like a big sister. But, Midoriya's clearly older, but, After that, him and Sans kind of get this vibe going around them. Like, they both know, like, so you know about the reset as well? Or can you recollect any memories of the reset? Or basically, there's this one thing that kind of, like, every, month, the world kind of resets. Or more like copies, like, a past day. Like, it'll look like the exact same, like nothing changed. But yeah, Midoriya and him, or her technically, do notice the resets, and they kind of, talk to each other about it, but it's only between them, so yeah. Hey, so this is what happened on this day, and this day is the same day as this day, you feel me? Yeah. And then Toriel and Sans, still got that connection. It's like, make me a promise. Basically. Same day! A younger, like, Chara kind of appears. You can see what I'm getting. Knowing Chara's knowledge, she'll most definitely have the vibe that Deku is a human, but at the same time with his appearance as a monster. So, she'll be confused at one point. And then she'll realize, after a couple of genocides, oh snap, you just like me. Oh snap. The only difference is that I still have my body, basically. As, Frisk would also be a thing, but give or take like a couple, days later, or recess later. So after a while, it's not at that point where Chara wants to kill him, it's just at that point where she wants to, more lines, she doesn't seem, like, she hasn't had any sort of connection with anybody, like, either friendship-wise, romantic-wise, or family-wise. So she only sees the one person that actually can see eye to eye to her is basically my man Midoriya. But the thing is, she's still going through it the wrong way. She still wants to kill him, but in a way that she sees it as playing at this point. And she, also almost like a masochist. She, she wants to see him in pain, basically. But slowly does she not know he's already in pain and every day of his life, basically. Trying to recollect his past. He can remember anything and everything but his past. Like, that's crazy. And then not to mention, he would get like a memory in every reset, but in every reset, that memory would disappear and then would be replaced and then reset with a different memory. And then it will also disappear. He would know that he would remember something from his past, but he wouldn't know what due to it dramatically changing. So he kind of remembers, but at the same time the resets happen. So the reset does have like almost a reset to his brain a little bit. And then Frisk is here, like, she's more lines manipulated by, basically manipulated by Chara. It's like, hey yo, my boy over here, yeah, he can not just help you, but he's basically the only one you can reason with. Not just that, but, he can get us out of here and stop with the resets. Basically forcing, Frisk to kind of, like, also be in a genocide route, but more of a passionate, like, almost like a, what was it? Like, almost like a MCU Thanos. So he's like, how much did it take? It took everything. So, that little sat, Thanos in the movies wasn't evil, but he was, he wanted, something done. He had to do it, even if it took everything. Basically, that's what Frisk is. So, my man, you can really, somewhat guess on what the ship is. Not just that, but, after the reset, you know, I'll say the berry and whatnot, when they change a user more lines, when Ink finds out there's someone not supposed to be there, he kind of teleports him, or Malians teleports him to the void, or teleports whatever. In that time, my man basically gets his AU, or at least transferred to his own AU, basically the entire reset thing and whatnot. And basically that happens. The difference is that he can actually be visited by class 1A and all that other stuff. But yeah. Not to mention, he's able to freely transfer to, his own AU or, the AU he, originally came through. So, yeah. Yeah, so he's basically able to transfer to 2 AUs. But that's all, though. He can't teleport, out of sight of his knowledge. Not just that, but I may or may not add a glitch war. What was it called? Like, the Crush arc? What was it called? Flipping the war between all the evil Saiyans and good Saiyans. Basically, I may add that as well. But he's gonna be very quick since my man's powerful like that. So yeah, not just that, but yeah, I think I got it all down. I mean, basically first portion of this video is just me talking about, part 3 of Fall, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, I say that's all. At least for now. Now, let's get to the video. Sorry about that. So, yeah, as you can see on the screen... sorry it took so long to get to this point. But, you see on the screen, yeah, this is what my man looks like in public. He literally changes his hair and everything just to go out in public as this. He dresses up as a demi-human to, change his, puppet-like appearance. And, as you see in his arms is, the girl puppet, as, you can see, she kind of damaged, as you can see. So, now let's get to that. So we left off, I believe, when Midori was walking home. Either that, or he was hearing about the heroes, or, listening and hearing about the heroes and whatnot. And he's like, I want to be a king. Maybe, maybe not, who knows. What about these heroes? Am I a hero, basically, all that yada yada. As then he realizes, if I'm a hero, what am I then? Was I brought here by magic users, or was I brought here upon death? I do not know. What am I? Basically, kind of just questioning his morality at this point. And then, he's kind of just walking, just, connecting to people, getting resources and whatnot. To basically open up, he's getting plant resources and whatnot to, get his plant and farming done. So, he can have resources and, inevitably make it his own kingdom. Very small, his Moreline's going to be like a little shack. Or Moreline's, the pizzeria, and, Moreline's going to be a little town. Or, can I even call it something like, one building, and maybe, like 3 other buildings, basically. But even so, it's going to be like a little small town, you can say. No, not even a town. I'll say maybe like a village, like a very small village. Yeah, he's starting that up. He's starting off small. He's just getting beans. Getting magical beans as well. Totally not Jack and the Giant. So yeah, that's a. Anyways, yeah. That happens, and you can say my man, yeah. He kind of walking, He sees, I'll say it's the public, the heroes are finally coming out. After the heroes, explained or, told everything. Heroes come out, everyone's cheering. My man's trying to get a look like, yo, move your head out the way. Thinking that. Yo, get out the way, I want to see what's happening. Move out the way. As, and then he realizes, oh wait, I'm tall. As he just, fixes his, boots real quick, because I'd say the boots make them, or, force them to become shorter, like magical boots or something. So, he fixes the boots like, no, I'm my height, because he looks over. I'll say he's like maybe like 5'10", around that maybe a bit taller. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Like 5'6", yeah. My man kind of just, yeah. As he's looking over people, seeing, heroes and whatnot. What type of heroes do I choose without ripping off Sword Hero? I'll say the fundamentals. I'll say, sword. Nah, that would technically still be ripping off it. I'll say there's the tank. There's the attack, defense. The basic ranges. Close range, mid range, and far range. The tank obviously being the close range. I'll say whip hero maybe. I'll say magic user is far range, and then for mid range, I'll say slingshot hero maybe, or assassin. No, maybe. No, I'll say hunter with like some sort of like bow connected to his like wrists or something. So yeah. Yeah. Sword. I got one. I got the bow. The bow, nunchucks. Ball was spotted. No. Bow, nunchucks, and bow, nunchucks, and I can't think of anything. Bow, nunchucks, and I'll say bow, nunchucks. I'll just say wizard or something. I can't think of anything. Bow, nunchucks, and wizard. Why? Because I can't think of any things on top of my head. So yeah, bow, nunchucks, and wizard. Those are the 3 heroes of this kingdom. So yeah, and there are other heroes, but I can't really think of them. I just put them as anonymous. So yeah. That would be there. Also, as soon as I finish, the sound deku, which is probably going to be in 2 parts, and with fall deku also in 2 parts, I'm also going to have, Demon Slayer deku, but that's not here and there, but not here, there, or now. So let's continue. My guy kind of just sees this like, nothing to worry about. Pretty cool though. As he sees this, and he kind of just like, nah, bro, that's crazy. Talking about heroes, I feel like we should have defenses by the village. That'd be nice. Yeah, why not? That would be very nice if I can have people for the village. But who, though? We'll think about it later, right now. As he does so. He gets ready to walk back until he hears something weird. With these heroes, we'll be unstoppable. We'll be able to defeat the rounds. I just let you know I am adding the round thing where monsters are summoned. So yeah. I'll say it's monthly. Cause why not? Anyways. Yeah. So that happens and my man hears something about the rounds and he's like, huh. That's that sounds a bit concerning. You can just start off with that, like my guy. What? As he realizes, oh snap! I actually might need those offenses a bit quicker than I thought. Wow, huh? That's a bag of trash, isn't it? Huh? And yeah, that's how it is. And he realizes if he's a hero that basically has positivity or hope or basically creation on his side, he had an idea. He was like, that's it, I'll make my own heroes. Why did I think of that before? Haha. As you know, yeah. This is gonna go end very badly, but anyways. Yeah, my man kind of like, hey, I might have to buy more stuff, but I'm running out of money, so I'm gonna just dash, get equipment, train my children to fight, hopefully, and then you can just everything settle down. So yeah, let's go. About 3 hours later, my man carrying way too much. My man's back is hurting. Like, his back is like an old man at this point, in like the range of like 70s to like 80s, basically. Man kind of just, my back, I feel old, basically. Even though he's like 5 to like 6 or about. But yeah. Yeah, remember, his power basically increases, his height or, mentality basically and everything like that. But yeah. So we take a couple days, as not a couple days, but we take a couple hours as my man finally comes out of the kingdom. Oh, my bad. Oh, I should have brought the children with me. That would be so much easier. As he's walking, he smells something burning. You feel me? He's like, I'll smell bark. I'll smell fire. I smell something very intoxicating. I smell forest fire. And then he realizes, oh shit, that's near my village. As he immediately kind of just like, man, dashing through the snow. Basically just pulling up and like, dashing through the snow like a reindeer. Basically dashing. And if you know how fast this man is going, you know how fast this man can run. Hold up, let me change the image real quick. Good enough. Anyways. Yeah. I couldn't find anything. But yeah, my man just has his wires out. His wires of creation. And kind of just dashing immediately to the village. Like, the things are almost being flown off his back, but he has the straps to his back. So yeah, man just flying. Still a lot more slower, but still pretty flippin' fast. So he gets there in, I'll say 15 minutes. And, yeah. He sees the forest is burning down while his pizzeria is also burning down, and, he gets PTSD from the first day he got here. So, yeah, he hears the screams of children, the burning sensation, the smell of rotting and burning flesh. By then, he saw his building in rubble. Basically in rubble. And his heart was broken. He tried to look through the children. Half of the children were gone. Like, he saw, like, a lot of them dead. But he saw, like, a lot of them were also missing from the equation. He hears some coughs. And these coughs are, you know, basically the 5 he gave, you know, his heroes to. Or at least, you know, the demi-human abilities to. He hears them coughing. And he could see them. They're burned. Or more lines, they look like, you know, I'll say they look like what was the word? Hold up. Withered Bonnie, basically. They all look like the Withered animatronics. Like half, like, because they don't know what happened. Basically, they're all in, you know, withered state. My man got his white eyes out. He tried to put out the fire as fast as possible, but, you know, forest still burning down. So he's kind of running into a burning building, trying to look for everything, like, through all the rubble and whatnot that's still there. You know, kind of picking up the children and, you know, taking them outside one by one. You know, first he gets that, and then he sees his one and only friend, or more lines, basically the person who at least has the same mentality, or at least a, you know, basic mentality as him, in the ground, literally, with all the rubble on them, with a hand sticking out. He's like, the cries, I can hear your cries, my children. Do not cry. When I find who did this to you, I will end them. Do not worry, my children. As basically, in order to more lines, how do you say this? Have her live. Man was like, I can't resurrect a person twice. But I can do something else. As he grabs the deceased, female puppet's hand and proceeds to, transfer his power. Transferring his power, kind of resurrect them, but, take away his power. So basically leaving him as not human, but take away his abilities for positivity and all that. Basically, instead of him being the manifestation of hope, he would basically be the manifestation of nothing. Or at least, what's there. Now let me change it one more time. As you can see, as soon as my man tries to transfer it, he feels a dark presence creeping inside of his body. He can feel ominous, like he can feel bloodlust and just all around negativity and just depression and all this other jazz. Despair, you can say. May or may not have take this by Dink on Rampa, but anyways, yeah. My man, the colors of his mask and the colors of his skin start to dwindle. Or at least the paint and whatnot starts to dwindle and change color. Or more lines, lose its color. Sorry. And trying to fight off this urge to wreak chaos, destroy, and cause death, my man sees a glowing light. Sorry, I got a line. This isn't the last time I'm changing the picture. Sorry about that. I couldn't find any other female pictures. But anyways, yeah. This is the best I can do for now. But anyways, stick with me though. Basically, coming out from the ashes, the corpse, or at least what's around the bones, will start to turn into dust, falling off. as almost as if it was some sort of shell. As something within the ashes start to arise. As all the knowledge and intellect that Midoriya had would now be transferred, or basically semi-omnipotence would basically be transferred to, is that, basically? So yeah. My guy kind of feels a little weak. He's like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good, basically. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. So basically, on his knees, like, oh snap, that took a lot out of me, not gonna lie. My legs kind of hurt now. Is this the pain you felt when you were dead? Because my feet kind of, As you know, while the consequences of transferring your powers, you kind of get the equivalent, damage to their body that they had before the transfer. So my man's legs kind of like, oh shit, I think I need a wheelchair real quick, like my guy. As you can, like, this man's like, darling, sweetie, can you please me a favor? Sus, can you please do me a favor? Can you help me up, please? As he's kind of just like on his butt, kind of slouching on a rock. As basically, as Darling isn't away for like a sister, basically, rich as in sister or rich as in friend, or people who speak rich, basically. Hey, darling, or like children usually, and medieval times, darling, can you please do me a favor for your pops, or whatnot. So yeah. As she does so, she's confused, but her powers are acting without her, so kind of her body's going without her thinking, helping him up. As you can see, the colors slowly fading from my main. And you can see his skin kind of looking a little scrawny and a little skinny, you feel me? A little bit too skinny for his liking, but yeah. At the same time of feeling all this pain, he's trying to kind of fight back this urge of despair and all this negativity. Like, it's almost like Meliodas' full power, basically. He's trying not to lose control of, his demonic power, basically. Something very similar to it, but not at all. It's more like something trying to possess him than anything. But yeah. That's why he keeps on flickering a little bit. Or, in that mode where, you see this. Let me pull that out one more time. Probably not, As you see this. So, after that, all the children and whatnot kind of, they more lines follow in with what it is. And so what it is, he can hear the children and a couple other children coughing in the fire, being enveloped by it. As using the ounces of his power, the ounces that he has left, of course, almost like a one for all, where he kind of still has a little flame going on, the embers. He uses that to basically give gifts to the leftover children, or at least the ones that are alive, or that are not there, or that the ones that are basically there. So as creating the toy animatronics by using it. The demi-humans, basically the same thing as the normal animatronics, but a bit different. As the basic three, Freddy, Shikabani, are all lighter, so they're all a bit faster, but don't do as much damage, but can move a bit better than the old animatronics. As for Mangle, in return for speed, she does in stealth, and as in for climbing many things. as in for the puppet kind of already there. But yeah, the female puppet's there now, and who else? I think Spring. Was it maybe? No, I don't think so. Balloon Boy. I say Balloon Boy is kind of just there. So yeah, he's the thing now. The only difference that I actually took of the actual, appearance was not that much, honestly. He wasn't given any, ears or, tail. He's more like just given, just the jolly feeling. Like that, that like the trickster feeling. Not trickster, but, the troublemaker feeling as a kid. Like the kid troublemaker, basically. But yeah, the new animatronics are kind of just there. Or I'll say it was either him or the female puppet that did that. But yeah, either or they did that somehow. But yeah, they're kind of just going around, the Godfather basically. He's like, grandfather, what's happening? Father, what happened? For toys is grandfather. For normal animatronics is father basically. What's happening? I am afraid my time is limited, my children. As now we time skip a couple years. Or at least, 2 years. Not that much. I'm going to wait until, we finish. Or more or less, while the time skip is happening, I'll tell you what's happening at the same time. During the time skip. During the time skip of, give or take like 5 years. But yeah, in the time skip, my man's kind of in a wheelchair now, or at least, had not a wheelchair, but mainly the puppet cross is basically on a puppet cross. The female puppet created for him to help him walk. So he's now having that basically. His power is significantly siphoned, or if not, has no power at all of creation. He only has power to basically just give wisdom. Basically, that's the only thing he can give. Like, he doesn't have any power. He's not special anymore, so yeah. His speed is, dramatically decreased. If not to a crawl. Or if not a ragdolling. Because, he can move his, puppet cross faster than he can. So basically either ragdoll himself, or, it is what it is. That's it, yeah. After that, he gets a letter, or, he, from one of his children, Foxy, Withered Foxy, he gets a note that, they found the people that did this, like the following couple of days, or weeks, or months. He's like, see. Dang, that's crazy, because I can't do anything now about it. Dang, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. As now we go to the king. We go to the king. This is a corrupt king and a very bad king, but, we go to the king of the kingdom. He's, it's pretty bad. So now we go to the king. The king, may or may not have gotten a curse. So, I got a better idea, I'll say my man comes with all his children, all the toy animatronics and animatronics. He's like, let's give the kingdom a visit, shall we all? In our normal forms, please. Because I'll say the same people, the tax people, and the landowners and whatnot, are the same people that work for the kingdom, and the king, and also the king directly put the the quest or intermission to do so, destroy the forest and whatnot. But yeah, they had all the people or races of the land all agreed to not destroy the forest, to the fairies and other things like that. But yeah. But, the king, this is a bad king, so he don't care about that stuff. He only cares about power. So he kind of like, he giggling, ha ha ha. Now those people understand how much power I have now. As within for that, yeah. Everyone starts to get, stared at. As now, the animatronics and all that are kind of walking behind. Or, walking behind, my guy. As in my guy is walking behind, the female puppet. The filament puppet is, almost like a first defense, and we got front and, back defense. So, everyone's kind of surrounding, my guy, almost in a circle-like fashion. Everyone's kind of getting out the way and just staring at them. As, guards and whatnot, get noticed and, start taking notes and, bringing it to the king. The king's like, ho ho. So, they have came to argue upon the deal then. The deal was centuries of thousands of years old. It no longer have fits. It no longer matters of this century now. Now, let them in. Or more lines, we go to it right in front of the kingdom, or more lines, in the middle of the kingdom, there's like a execution area. Well, there's also a lot of shops and whatnot around. So yeah. As we see the king, there. Oh, so you're here. As even the animatronics are a bit off, because they're feeling, just a glowing aura coming from, their father or grandfather. They don't know what it is, but it's dark, like very dark. As man's kind of just being scolded upon, I'll say, puppet, it's kind of, king. By the rules of all races, you have broken one of many ancient rules in the book of peace treaty race, of, the peace race treaty. You have broken one of the rules, and if not, broken many of them, thinking you are still in power. Other races may not be here today, but they have surely heard of this act. It will see you as a very suspicious candidate of an enemy. And for attacking us first, you will be punished by our master. As everyone's whispering like, shh, hey, you think the master is? As in a dark aura, the puppet starts to move, to the side. As you can see, a very, very, I'll say the purple is now almost like a grayish, whitish, or more lines is like very tinted off by the color. Like it's a very tinted, you can tell. Like I'll say, like it's a bit like a very, almost like a blackish purple, but like it's faded. Just a very distorted, like monster look. So, you think there will not be consequences for your actions, rivaled king? I am nothing but a child in an age that has not gotten here recently. But attacking my people, killing and kidnapping and selling my children is another story. And not talking to it for our own treaty is utmost disrespectful. So I curse you with this. I would personally give 2 curses to this kingdom. 1 curse specifically for this kingdom, and the other curse has already been in motion for quite a while. In fact, the first time I laid eyes on a corrupted king. That little party suit you have there. Celebrating suit, you see. Think it looks a little bit like the Spring Bonnie, look a little bit. Very bright colors for such a corrupted person. Such a selfish person. I would give you the curse that locks This curse cannot be undone until you have been redeemed. As the king's suit starts to become green. As they're not green, but drops of blood start to be appearing on the king's shirt and whatnot and everything. As the king starts to feel these metallic-like things crushing his rib cages and entering his body. I call this the curse of Springtrap. Until you are no longer selfish for power. Until you no longer have any ill will towards anyone else, you will be trapped like this for all eternity. Even if you are redeemed, I will not let you die until I feel like it. While doing this, a specific person pops up. Golden Freddy, anyways. Yeah. Hey, Goldie, you're assigned to carry out this curse for the king, no matter what it takes. Knowing that, the king is also the person who, carried out, the raid on the demi-human village in basically part 1, but yeah. You. As you can see, a very frustrated and very angry Golden Freddy. Demi-human with, bear-like tendencies and, but instead of it being brown or, light brown, it would be gold and yellow. As there was, of course there's always, two sides of the coin. As there is another version of Goldie. This version, Goldie, is her passion and becomes Fredbear. Or, the little plush. The little Fredbear plush, of course. That will sit on, Izuku's lap. And for the kingdom, you all have allowed your king to destroy this kingdom. If you have not seen the outskirts of the kingdom, it has been broken, it has been robbed, it has been burned down, people have been sick, people have been killed, people have been have been doing terrible things in the outskirts of this kingdom, and the king bats an eye. For that, I grant the kingdom entirely the curse of Dreadbear. As in within that, every fear, every negativity inside the kingdom started going, it was visible now, into almost a green-like substance. It smashed into the ground, taking up the body of the original king. Like the very first king that had this land. He had very good hopes. This king, the very first king, was actually a very good person. He's actually the person who, chose and, looked out his way to, actually make himself peace and have a peace treaty with all other races, basically. As all the negativity and whatnot goes into this old king buried, as they start to see something. A bear, almost. But green. Distorted like Frankenstein's monster. Let me change real quick. As the skies turned green with a dark energy, the king rose up with immense power. This was not the puppet. No, it was a Midoriya. It was the power, the negativity itself manifested into Midoriya. Midoriya gave all that negativity a shape. That's all he really did. He just gave it a shape. as the negativity and power was just formed by the own citizens and negativity of what this kingdom has made of sins, and created this abomination. I am Dreadbear. Basically having this out. So yeah. That would be out. And Dreadbear would just look at the puppet about to do something, like a magic attack, but then looks into his eyes and then just bows, just gives a nod. Indeed. As he just looks at the king. You are banished from this land by the original king, and forever will be banished. You will never be welcomed anywhere. As basically the king, basically, the William Afton, Springlock scene happens, but, he teleports him away from, to a distant land. I am a manifestation. I am fear, given form. I am Dreadbear. Basically, tombstones start rising up, and the original royal guard becomes Grim Foxy, and all the other good guards and whatnot become the Curse of Dreadbear animatronics, which are a little bit few, but it is what it is. And for the outskirts, because the kingdom's pretty big, for the outskirts of the kingdom, we got or more lines all across the land, are the Jaw Kill animatronics. Cough cough. If you know what those are, you're OG FNF, anyways. Jaw Kill animatronics. Or was it Jaw Kill animatronic or Draw Kill? I think it was Jaw Kill animatronics, but yeah. Midoriya will now leave as his last passionate smile, while leaving with all the animatronics, washed out to fade as his mask. He would accept the darkness within him, as he would become something entirely. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. This was, I believe, hold up. I think this was what? This was the Puppet Deku 2. But yeah, peace.